Welcome, everybody, to our show. I'm so glad you guys are able to be here with us today. My name is Jonathan Tripp, host of Talk Social News. I'm glad you guys are able to make it. As we get everything going on, all the feeds are going out, the live videos happening. This is what it is, guys. Welcome. This is our Friday edition to Talk Social News. This is my chance to kind of just hang out with you guys, talk about some things that are kind of fun. But really, this is a weekly and sometimes a bi-weekly broadcast where we talk about the latest in live streaming and social media, really to help your business and your brand. Today is kind of a no-frill show. I'm bringing you, I think, some of the basics of what's going on today. Here, let me bring up my feed to make sure that I can see you guys. Trying to drag this over. There we go. Now I'm a little bit more able to do this. Let's see if I can actually see who's joining us this morning. Guys, I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. Let's start right out. There's a couple of things. Hey, Catherine, it's good to see you. Thank you. Oh, and now I have to translate it. That's okay. Perfect. Excellent. I'm glad to see you guys. There's been some real changes going on within Livestream. Some things are kind of getting shaken up. Here, let me see if I can actually find my. And welcome to everybody on Periscope, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do just give a quick share out as we're getting the broadcast started. I really should get some music like going on in the background, but it's really hard to make sure the levels are right as you're actually producing the show with that. So let me give a quick little refresh. Go in there. I don't even know which account I'm signed into. So. No, that's my other account. So that is what it is. All right, guys, we have some really good news, really kind of fun news this morning. But so I tried something a little bit different. I wanted to see how it works, both live. Have you ever done something or had this great idea? I mean, this was wonderful. This was going to change everything. Right. And you're like, man, I can do this. I think I could do this. Right. And as you're putting it together, it's the end of the day and you're okay. Look, this is great. This is a great point. I'm going to leave off. I'm going to come back the next day after a good night's sleep. And now you've had the great idea. And now you're going to have all the energy to accomplish and carry out that idea, only to go to sleep. You wake up. And you can't remember what it is that you wanted to do, or that thing that was really important. Yeah, that's me. That's me today. I can't remember. I had this idea. I was like, so we're gonna actually do something different because of that pure fact right there. All right. I do have one more share out. I actually know that I need to do. Let's share it over. I forgot I have to share it manually to a page. That I have. So it's my page. It's also known as Jonathan Tripp, that page. So yeah, I probably should share it out there. But guys, welcome. If you're on Periscope, say hi. I'm glad that you were able to join us today. Here, let's do this. Going to share this and post it there. Tweet it and share the broadcast with the followers, because that's what we do. Guys, thank you for doing that. All right, so I'm actually going to try this, and I don't know how legit this is going to be. You guys got to tell me what you think, because sometimes these come across, and they're awful ideas. They're absolutely horrible ideas. Thank you for the wave. I appreciate it. All right. So, this week I went through and there was a lot of news. There was a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there's a little bit of Facebook. There's a thing about Instagram. And then Twitter is it's like blowing up all over itself. And so I want to hit the first thing, because you guys know my heart on a lot of these, right? That I adore. I adore Instagram. That it's just one of my favorite things. I do. I like it. I like the platform. I like the way that it works. I like all these kinds of things, right? And the thing is that when it comes to Instagram, we've always been able to do this really kind of a cool thing. At least I think it's kind of cool. This cool thing where you can search for people based on location, and it used to be like really like creepy, close location, but you can search on location, you can search on hashtags, you can find search for people's names and follow them, and then Instagram did this kind of cool thing where they added this this feature where you would be able to know, well, if you like this person, it's called suggested follows, right? If you like this person, you might also like these other people. And so, maybe if you like a news outlet or something like that, or a sports team, that they're going to then suggest other sports teams in the area or names that rhyme with it. I don't know, always their algorithm, but they've got one, right? That's kind of the point. But as we've kind of gone on, here's the deal, right? Instagram, in an effort, they've added stories and all these other things, but Instagram, in an effort to stay really on the cutting edge, and I don't know who the brainchild, where this came from, but it's come from somewhere. And I'm actually really kind of I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. But Instagram is testing a new feature. With a small portion of its user base, where some users can now search for hashtags and follow the tag in particular. So you're not following a person or a brand. You don't have it's not like a Twitter list where you've got a bunch of people. No, you're actually following the hashtag itself. All right, this is going to break in Instagram, okay? Because now I don't actually need to follow you. I don't need to follow you particularly. I can just follow Coffee or Mugshot. Here's the Mugshot, right? I don't need to follow a person anymore. I can just get the things that person talks about, which is really what I'm interested in anyway, right? But Instagram used to feel as I think I used to get it, and I used to like this quite a bit more, right? But here's the problem though. When we introduce this ability just to follow the hashtags, I think it really is going to separate out influencers. I really think that this is going to have a pretty profound impact on the way that we're going to use that platform. But it's also this makes it more search driven than anything else, and maybe that is the way that we want to use this platform. So anyway, let me catch up, see if we've got any comments, guys. It's great to see you. Thanks, I appreciate it, man. My audio is hot for some reason today. I don't know why. Here, I can turn this down a little bit. There we go. Thanks a lot, William. I appreciate that message, man. Here, if we do that, how about if we just kind of pull it down just a little bit like that? Give me a message. Let me know. Let me know if that fixed it. All right. Well, see, I see Jonathan. Thank you for joining us. Lindsay, William, appreciate it. And Mia Voss, thank you guys for being a part of the broadcast today. I love it. All right, so as we're kind of going on, let me check to see over here. David Vaughn on Instagram. Gail also on Instagram. Thank you, guys. If you are on the platform, say hi. I love to hear you guys as you guys are saying stuff today. Catching up. All right, so that was Instagram, and I wanted to hit Instagram right off the bat, because I know some of you absolutely despise Instagram and in the culture that it brings. Well, guess what? Too bad, because I like it. I like it a lot. So, all right. So let's see here. Let me try to bring it up now. Cool. All right. So the next one. So we talked about Instagram that way. I have a list of articles, and you know what? Here's what I'll do. Hey, Kim. Oh, it's great to see you. Party flew from the house. Yes. Oh, my audio is really hot today. I don't know. Here, let me do this. I'll bring it down. Is it still pretty hot? You guys gotta let me know. The gain is strong with this one, right? Maybe here. I'll even move it away. There we go. Maybe that'll fix it. Or maybe I'm really on spot today. Laura Ramsey, thank you for joining us. It's a long time no see. Thanks for joining. All right, so I have all of this. So I've got all of this going on. So let's do this. If I read off there. So I've collected a bunch of articles that I thought were interesting about social and things like this. Some of them I just have in there, and you give me a heads up, give me like some hearts, or give me a comment, or give me give me, if you're on Facebook or something like that, like tap the thumbs up button. I realize there's a little bit of a delay on this. So this is what I want. So let me just read some of these. I'm going to go to the bottom of my list. We're going to work up. Here's a headline that I thought was interesting. This is a lot of these are from like Mashable, the Next Web, TechCrunch, social media, things like this. So this one is Twitter confirms it's testing a tweet storm feature. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have literally no idea what a tweet storm is. What is a tweet storm? My first thought, hey, Dan, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Terry, Jeff Higgins, guys, thank you. Thank you guys for joining us this morning as we're kind of going through this, right? I'm like a tweet storm, almost to the point where, like, yeah, I'm actually gonna look it up, because if you want to talk about something, you should at least have a clue about what you're talking about. But that's really not what the show's about. And if you do think that that's really what the show's about, I'm sorry to disappoint you already. But I'm just going to drop a link for an article. So I say that, having said, there's an article I dropped in Facebook here. Let me drop it over in this is my chat's unavailable over there. That's awesome. All right. So, but it's over on LifeWire, and it says the term tweet storm, not tweet storm, was coined and made famous by Silicon golden boy Mark Anderson. All right. As you've seen, but with a series of tweets from one person that starts with a number and a hashtag, those numbers mean that this is the first tweet of a longer thought, followed by the second and sometimes third and fourth, and a series of posts known as a tweet storm is a way to share thoughts and comments that are too long for now even the expanded 280 character limit. All right? So that's what a tweet storm is. Now, having said that, Twitter could make a tweet storms an official feature. Okay? What about the hack that was a couple of weeks ago? It was a couple of weeks ago that I noticed it. It was these guys, they hacked Twitter and they got out something like 38,000 character limit on, they hacked the system. They totally broke it. It's not the way it's supposed to be used, right? So here's my thoughts. Like, maybe this is Twitter's way of getting that that longer tweet feature to happen. And maybe how is this different than a Twitter chat where you just respond in kind and it's conversation back and forth? Or maybe this is Twitter's way of a rant. Like this, maybe they have an official rant feature. Maybe that's what this is. So maybe Twitter could be doing this, right? So as if, and I'm going to read the Mashable article to you just right off, or at least portions of it. As if the character limit to 280 wasn't enough, Twitter is testing a dedicated feature to make it easier for users to use TweetStorm. All right. So I love that headline. The latest version of the feature was spotted by Android Police, and it allows users to add multiple tweets to a single thread by using a plus icon in the tweet composer. It's not clear if this limits you to a specific number of tweets, though it appears that each one has the same 280 character limit per tweet as the rest of them. I don't know. Would anybody actually find this to be a useful feature? I'd be really interested to see. Is this actually a cool thing? Is this only available on Android beta right right now? Yeah, Jeff. Here's the thing, right? I don't actually know, because this is not a feature that I have. It's not a feature that I don't actually think it's a real feature. This is like beta testing in all of that. And if you actually use Twitter, and even if maybe, how many of you guys are Twitter OG and are only going to be using 140 characters in your tweets from now? You're not going to do the 280. Alfredo Tigolo, I'm already calling you out, because you've been tweeting and you tweet longer tweets, and it messed me up on Let's live stream this week when we're talking about promote your show, and I'm trying to read it and I can't, because then I can't do the preview. I gotta click on the thing, and it's like 8 clicks deep just to read your tweet, and that's really not your problem. That's my problem, because I hadn't even thought that was going to be a problem. But when reading longer tweets, Now, in order to get the full thought out, because you can be doing, it sounds like, you can do a what is it? I can't even do the math that fast. What's it? Like 280 times 4. I mean, that's 1,000 characters, 1,100 characters that you could be doing. How awesome is that? Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. We're going to be talking about Twitter more, because it's not just, guys, we all know, and in all seriousness, we know that it's really not about how many tweets that you have. It's the quality of the tweets. William, I love your comment. POTUS will love the tweet storm feature, the mother of all storms. I love it. No, that's really funny, actually. That's a great comment. So here's the thing. I'm going to guess this, right? I'm going to guess that people are going to start using it. This is going to now encourage rants on Twitter. That's going to be, I think that's how it's going to be used. It's going to be, we're going to encourage the rants. Now, having said that, okay, there's been a lot of things that have been going on. Okay, this is not about just Twitter and just allowing what Twitter has been doing a lot more lately. And we've seen this through they've been addressing a lot of the verification, verifying the wrong, they had a very specific term, but like they were verifying in this case. It was brought up that when Twitter was verifying like white supremacists and hate groups and things like this, now they're backtracking, and it is good to see that they are pulling this off. That they are pulling these verified check badges, off of some of these hate groups, that they're no longer able to. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I don't see enough behind the scenes to how do they determine that this is a hate group and someone that just doesn't have a particular maybe they're strong, they have a particular strong viewpoint on something. And that's not to say that anybody should support a white supremacist. It's who at Twitter is deciding what is the line. That's my question. That would be the point that I would bring up. But the fact that known white supremacists that did have the verification badges added, and this really started a big thing, I'm glad to see that they're repealing it. They're pulling those backs. Right. And I really like that. So now, having said that, and this is the problem that I think a lot of people are having, and I'm right here, I'm looking for this. There was a couple of articles, and one that Twitter bans an alt-right troll baked Alaska. Okay. So that and the reason why I bring it up is because that means that somebody over at Twitter is deciding that somebody is a troll and another person is not. And I hope that it's not just because they have a right or a conservative viewpoint versus a left or a more progressive viewpoint. That's not the deciding factor. What we don't want is far alt-right and far alt-left, those that are the extremists, because we find that they are so, they stir up so much, and they oftentimes are trolls. And honestly, I know I don't follow Baked Alaska. I literally clicked on this because I was like, oh, now we see that Twitter is actually following through with this. They're making a number of other policy changes, one of which, and I'm looking for the article, and of course I can't find it when you need it, right? Here it is. This is the one that I wanted to see. Twitter, and here's the update, and it's from Mashable. So we'll kind of keep that kind of where it is today, right? That Twitter updates policies to explain why they won't ban Trump. Now, this I think more than anything else, and I'm actually going to drop this also in the. I'm going to drop this also in the Facebook feed, but this is over at Mashable. I mean, the article just came out on the 14th, where Twitter wants to be absolutely clear to everyone what's a good tweet and what's a bad tweet. And by good and bad tweets, we mean offensive and breaking Twitter's rules. And by everyone, we mean Donald Trump. And the people like myself, the author, who is Carrie Flynn, asked why he hasn't been banned, especially after he threatened nuclear war via the platform. This really is both on an individual small scale, as well as on a much larger scale. How would a platform like this decide that it's going to pick and choose what categories or what characteristics need to happen in order for them to ban, to ban an account? And we've seen a number of accounts being banned and things like this. But I think in the larger scale, I think what Twitter is trying to do is trying to gain some credibility back, instead of it just being the wild, wild west. And that's a U.S. term for those of you guys that are not watching this from the U.S. perspective. It's a place where the wild, wild west, there was very little law, or it was might makes right, which still kind of happens even though we're not in the West anymore. But I'm just saying, you get my point. It was a horrible analogy because I didn't think it through ahead of time. But is it just because somebody's popular that makes them immune? And I think the answer is no. And if it is yes right now, I have a sneaking suspicion that will no longer be the case, because just because you have power and have money does not make you right and allow you the ability to do anything you want or to say anything you want. Freedom of speech is one thing, coercion and collusion is another. Watch yourself, make sure you're doing right. Having said that, Twitter is updating a lot of its platform, the way that what you're able to post, what you're able to not get away with, and definitely what you can't get away with, okay? So that's Twitter. There's been a lot of updates. I can actually post, I had probably like 10 articles on this, just from various perspectives, and I wanted to look at it, and I wanted to see what was being said, because this is a major shift in Twitter, and a lot of people, including myself, were complaining that, look, you can get away with anything and do anything you want on the platform, and it's just simply not okay. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle or the political side that you have, that's just simply not the case, and you can't be doing that. So having said that, what else? There's one other piece before we get into the kind of the closing or the last section here. Facebook live streaming. Obviously, you guys are watching this, or at least the majority of you guys are watching this on Facebook. How awesome is this? I'm enjoying this platform. Facebook Live it's not my favorite platform, but it is one of the more fun platforms to be on. Do you know why? Because you guys are here. You guys make this thing fun. Right? I mean, now this is where I get to hang out. I see B Smith, I see Terry, thank you. David Vaughn, as always. Hey, thanks for that, David. Alfredo, I see Jeff Higgins. Guys, thank you. I sometimes it's hard to catch the comments live, even just on like one platform or another. But what I do love about it is that this is the place I get to hang out with you guys, and I get to talk with you. I see Carlos, Chuck Sink, Tim Gillette. Thank you for showing up this morning, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys we've had a lot of people kind of roll through this. But here's the thing. With Facebook Live, they are changing some of the way, at least on the back end of the platform. So it's on the setup side, it's on the tech side. They've done some face changing. Maybe, now, at least for me, it shows up. You can watch this live full screen, and you can see a lot of those kinds of things. So you get to see, my coffee pot here. You get to see a lot of those kinds of cool things that are happening and going on, right? But when it comes to the actual back end of it, they're releasing, in talking about releasing, a couple of things, and some of the things that have been rumored over the years, and I'm talking mainly about Facebook Live, the desktop version, not the mobile version. And we can talk about mobile real quick. We've talked about it. At first it was a go live from your phone. It was just for your your platform, your Facebook profile, your personal profile. That was kind of cool. Able to connect to people. It showed up in there, and then all of a sudden everybody was doing it, and it was awful and horrible because it was a lot of times you couldn't hear people, you couldn't see them. People didn't know what they wanted to talk about. They just wanted to go live for the sake of it. Thankfully, that died down. Now they've added a bunch of different features. They got face filters. They have now you can invite people in, and there was that really awful experience where it was like that one little tiny square in the corner. Where that was that initial picture in picture, and it was awful. We had such high expectations for Facebook. Well, thankfully they've come back. They now have the two side-by-side picture in picture for Facebook Live Mobile. But when it comes to the desktop, we absolutely expect everything in it to be all for free and to be excellent quality. That's just, it's not going to happen. So they have been rolling out a bunch of different features. Some of them that have been rumored have been a green room that you can get ready to come on camera and to do a multi-person on-screen version of this, very similar to the mobile, where you can invite people in, but doing it on the desktop, but having a green room. They've talked about now they've recently added screen sharing, which is kind of a cool feature. It is a side by side, so they're really setting up the format. Now the newest thing. Let's see. Did I miss any others? This morning? Was there a couple other features? I was trying to remember, like for the desktop version. In the desktop, so that means you can go live in groups, you can go live on fan pages, you can go live on your personal profile. The newest thing that I've heard and that I was just reading is that they've changed the layout. So when you go in, it looks more like creating a post, a regular, normal, everything else that you've expected kind of post, where as you're viewing it, the screen is the biggest part of the it's the biggest part of the screen, and then off to the right side in a column, that's where you can add the column text and the title. You can add tags, and you can actually select what groups, if not multiple groups, that you want to go into, that you want to broadcast. And I think this is primarily from a page. So if you're a page and you're a page admin, now it's connected so that, I don't know, let's just say like VitMug is an admin for Talk Social News. So I would be able to, because I'm an admin in both those sides, but I'm broadcasting from VitMug's channel. I can now say, hey, I want to go live into Live Talk Nation when I do this, right? And then it will automatically share that feed. And I'm just going to have a guess that it will give pretty decent or better than average organic reach because they're testing the feature out and they want people to use it. Well, there's even one more. There's one more, and not everybody has it. As a matter of fact, most people don't have it. There's only been a couple of releases, and if it's not mistaken, I think this was released by or reported rather by somebody in like the Next Web. I think that's what it is. Yes, it's the Next Web, and what they're sharing, and I'll just read part of the article. Facebook is quietly working on a mysterious new app for its live video platform. It's called Fan Club app. All right, so this is the connection with the live. All right, it appears to be specifically designed to help you and other influencers. There we go, influencers boost engagement with your audience. Unfortunately, the social media giant is yet to enable Fan Club to users, even though the company is already testing it as a shortcut in the app within the live video. Okay, so basically, it's just one of the options, and the reason. So I brought up the format of it with the columns and the text on the right side, and be able to add those features and then be able to go live in a particular group. Well, it's part of that feature. It would be either it's a separate thing or it's another paragraph below that where now you're going to be able to do that. And I personally, I think it's kind of cool. I'm glad. Thank you for kind of changing up, spicing it up. It gives us something to talk about on a Friday. Because if this is really just a feature for influencers, too bad for you guys. Too bad for me. That's just not the way that this works, So let's see I know that there was a lot of other news out there here. Let me see if I can. Let me bring up my list here real quick because we are kind of on the back end of it. I see and I can post a bunch of these, but YouTube. I love this. This is a great headline. YouTubers from this country are killing it thanks to the rest of the world. All right. So apparently YouTube is. It is favoring some of the countries of origin that you can get out. So otherwise, also LinkedIn rolls out career advice mentoring programs in the US, UK, and India. So LinkedIn is really doubling down on this, helping people advance their careers, not just share their stuff. Another really interesting, this is not directly social, but it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. But many of you guys are impacted by this. But how many of you guys know about Kickstarter? And Kickstarter, is that like that project launch, that startup funder, and there's been a lot of different takes on it. So I think they do some really cool things. I believe Kickstarter, didn't they purchase Huzzah and integrate it into their platform? And that was kind of a cool thing because a number of you guys remember Huzzah and were using it. You guys were, we even did this show for a while on Huzzah, and those guys that were that had made the show, that had made that platform, really kind of cool guys. They were really trying to do the best that they could in creating as platform. And then as they got notoriety, we found that what the things that we liked about it, things we didn't like about it. But guess what? In the end, they ended up getting acquired by Kickstarter. And I thought that was a win for them. They made a product that was so desirable that another company bought it. Well, Kickstarter not only has been doing that and growing its customer and client base, now it seems, and this is the note, that Kickstarter is launching its own Patreon clone. So, and that was one of the things that always kind of separated the platforms. Kickstarter was always for a one-time event for a startup versus Patreon, which was more of a building a community that would consistently support you. And if Kickstarter is going to be now including Patreon, I think I think that kind of spells trouble for Patreon. I know they've got a good customer base, but guess what? New features with an already avid followership, because everybody knows about Kickstarter, whether you participated in or not. I think this is kind of it's a good thing. Let's create some competition. Maybe some innovation comes out of it, right? So now that was another thing that I had seen. And I know there's a bunch of other Facebook news out there. One of the other things, and we'll kind of close with this as we get ready to go into our after chat show / podcast, but Facebook will live stream 47 college basketball games at its live sports efforts. Okay. I'm not a big sports fan. I don't watch, a lot of sports, but I do like entertainment, and I'm glad, and I like to see that live streaming and in things of interest, like things that are fun to watch. Sports, for the most part, can be very fun to watch, and that's what we want to see. So when they're adding live college basketball games to the season, now it gets to be a little bit more fun. So keep an eye out for that, as well as maybe some other things that they're going to be talking about, and doing some other adding some other shows, or I know that there's Facebook Watch. You can go over to different shows, and we haven't even we'll talk about maybe some of these other things in our after chat. So I'm going to pin the comment that David Vaughn so rightly added. That's now pinned, and you guys can join us here in about 10 minutes after the end of this broadcast as we get going into that broadcast. I really do want to say, guys, thank you so much for everybody that's been a part of today's show. It's always fun when I like this change up. It feels a little bit more comfortable for me. I don't feel so stressed. Not that I ever really feel stressed in this, but I really do kind of like doing these kind of shows and things like this. But guys, remember this. We do this show. This is at least a weekly broadcast. We do talk about live streaming and social. But Talk Social News is produced and distributed by VitMug. And VitMug is, I think it's kind of a cool thing. I hope you guys do too, because it is a full service digital production company. We offer graphics design, live and post-production services for audio and video, and we would really love to be able to help you take your idea from conception to execution for your business brand or even your client. We'd love to be able to work with you in your agency as well. So if you guys have not already, go over to vitmug.com and watch as we are growing and building this page out. If you haven't already, you can like the fan page here on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. It's at your discretion. But guys, thank you so much for watching us today. This is our Friday edition of this show, and I would really hope that you guys are able to join us again next week, because we do have a number of other shows coming up, namely, all right. So I do have a couple of these graphics going on. So in all reality, we do this show twice a week, usually on Mondays and Fridays, give you guys a good chance to catch up. Also during the week, we have streamed, which is we do tech walkthroughs, app reviews, and things like this. This is a little bit more of the techie side. We do some pre-record, we do some live Q&A, and it's meant to be fun, but it's also meant to be very informative and such like that. And also we have Let's Livestream, which is a Twitter chat that we do every week, except for this week. And of course, you know what? I just saw now that this week it's actually not on Wednesday, it's actually on Tuesday. But we're going to be talking about live streaming toys, holiday deals, and discounts, because guess what? Black Friday is coming. Black Friday, Cyber Saturday, Small Business Wednesdays. I don't even know. It's like all of a sudden everybody's already dropping their deals. It's not even Thanksgiving. I don't know what to do, but we're going to talk about it because guess what? We all want to make sure we get the best deals, and we definitely want to be, we definitely want to be catching how this is going to be this holiday season rolling out. We don't want you guys to miss out on any of the toys and the fun things you guys want to catch. All right. So having said that, guys, join me in a couple of minutes here as I kind of close out this show as we make this happen. Guys, join me. I pinned the link, but it's over on David Vaughn's channel, and I can't bring up the link for some reason. Probably because I'm broadcasting. But guys, thank you. Join me again. We'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. If there's anything, if I missed something or you guys want to talk about something in particular, message me. Let me know. I really want to have a great time with you guys. Thank you so much. See you later.